Welcome back to Satisfactory. Hey, today we're just going to have a nice chill stream. We're not going to do anything too dramatic. We're just going to connect all these great assembly director units to the hub. Just have to decide exactly how we want to go about doing that. Right over here, kind of around right over there, you can see the tip top of our assembly directory towers. Assembly director towers. It's gonna be hard for me to overcome. And we belted it all the way back to right here, but we want to get them over to the hub over there. Part of me says we should go through storage here, though technically we don't plan to actually use storage, so I could bail a little sooner. I don't even have a lot of my basic materials. Hold on. I'm just thinking, like, our oil power? We've been on oil power for an extreme amount of time. It's probably catching up to us. No, we still have 7,000 power surplus. You know what? I'm feeling super lazy today. So yeah, I think we'll just go. It's coming from over here, going down this bridge, and then we'll just pass through storage. And if something happens where we need to add storage to storage, then that's fine. But my general understanding is you don't need to store these. Plus, we do have storage in the hub. I don't think I'm gonna need 3 of these, but let's just leave ourselves the option, I suppose. Well, I should cut it off straight, but I'm already covering up a previous error, so we'll just kind of swoop our way over here. That'll be a problem to solve later. If we ever decide that we need a third item on this list. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we've arrived at the hub. Well, I don't think I have any smart splitters on me. But that's easy to rectify. There we go. Assembly director units being uploaded properly. And then if we wanted to, we could put... Well, see, here's the problem. Dang, that thing's full already? No, we're auto-saving. So I don't have the smart splitters. Or no, I do have the smart splitters, but I don't have the programmable splitter. I almost never upgrade to programmable splitters. But maybe in this case I should. I don't think I've ever built a programmable splitter, ever. I've played this game for thousands of hours, 3 complete playthroughs on video, 1 complete playthrough that was so terrible I never uploaded it. Supercomputer recipe? What? Okay. Whatevs. Geothermal is actually kind of nice. I should probably get that. 50 computers. 50 supercomputers. 300 rubber. Alright. Got it. Man, this factory is full of plastic. I really wanted to make sure we had plenty of plastic to deal with. Technically, I could have grabbed those out of storage. Actually, the basement of this place is the easiest place to get resources. Look at this. Wonderfully balanced quick wire. Well, I was gonna drop some of this plastic off. Whoa, whatever we had in directors is done. Wow, that was fast. $50 heavy. I guess we'll deal with the geothermal when we're ready to build a few of those. Heavy modular frames and motors. Pretty sure there's some heavy modular frames lying around over here. Then maybe we could grab a A couple of motors from the motor factory belt. There goes another director unit. Hey. So in order to make sure that we don't clog up the space elevator belt, this is the end of the line. And then you just grab them from the designated location and then just drop them in the elevator drop. And look at that, we're starting to make progress. Oh, that's right. We were going to see what's up with this programmable. I guess what I'll end up doing is some sort of version of something like that. So in a distant future where we fully load up on assembly director units, it doesn't clog up the system. It overflows into the sink. But that's probably a good bit of ways away. Be right back. It'll be just one moment for you. Okay, we are back. One thing I think we should do, let's put a few... I don't know that I can get particle enrichment for tickets. I'm pretty sure I don't have enough tickets lined up. Well, let's check. Oh yeah, I only got 3 and I got 6 on me. Even if I dump these 14 directors, which will spike up. It's 3 million per ticket. It's closer to probably 10 million per ticket at this point. I'm gonna have to actually make those. Kind of in a exploratory mood today. I keep thinking about copper powder. The problem, of course, is that we don't have the copper powder recipe at our disposal. But we probably could make it. And then come back for the recipe. Cool part is it's only in a constructor. So, the good news is it's just a constructor. I wonder, maybe we should put 2 of them down, or a couple of them down. Actually, let's think about what we want to do in general here. 300 copper ingots per minute. Per constructor. The problem is, if I try to make a tower out of this, we would need, if I go with 480 belts, which we would need one belt per unit, basically. It's a little less, right? It's 480 divided by 300. So one belt could support 1.6 of these. If I times it by 2, 2 belts could handle 3 machines. I don't think this should be a very tall tower, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Because even at this level right now, we're already talking 3 complete belts of copper ingots. Or 2 belts of copper ingots. And then if we say... Alright, so each section is worth 300 times 3. That's 900 copper ingots per minute. Then each level has 4 sections, so that's 3,600 per minute. And then if we said even if we went times 2 divided by 480, 15 belts of copper ingots. Yikes. But of course, the output is only 50 per minute. I can make this a short, kind of a short building. Just trying to decide. I guess. Part of me says that we should keep it separated. I'm a little worried that we don't have enough copper ingot storage for this. but these come out. Okay, this is what happens when you improvise. So these things come out. Actually, hold on. I need to think about this for a second. Give me a second. Okay, I think I've got it. One thing we don't really need this level of on-site storage. And then I think if we take this out, we leave this here. And then we put in mergers. So we're gonna merge the merchandise. When this gets built, this piece will be right above it. And I think, for whatever reason, I'm having trouble visualizing this linkage. So the copper powder comes up, it goes up, or comes out, it goes up, and then it's sitting here. And then another version of this is sitting on top of it. But I think think we need kind of another service layer here. Plus we need belts to service each one of these. Maybe that'll make it easier. Maybe that's where I'm having trouble. Let's get this one done. You know what, though? You know what? I'm going to start over on this. Just clear it. I'm not even going to look at it. I am not happy with how that was coming out. What I do want to do is take a peek at how much copper we're storing. Copper ingots, to be precise. Might make sense to store a little bit more. We actually might have room to do it without too much additional pain. You know what? Before we do that, there was something I wanted to do as kind of a little tribute. Way back, if it wasn't 2023 still, it wouldn't surprise me. I'd set up this little trophy room here as part of this entrance. Let's see if we can get we'll try to get this somewhat nicely aligned. Oh yeah. Why would that cause a crash? Good grief. I'll be right back. Of all the things to cause a crash, basically, while that's loading, if we take a look here, we can see that copper powder goes into nuclear pasta. We know we need 1,000 nuclear pasta, so we need 2,000 builds of this. That's a lot. That's like 20,000 copper powder. So we need a good chunk of it. All right, back to the game. I crashed before I got frustrated with that blueprint. So we'll leave it. A separate copper powder video blueprints probably in order so I can actually think that through correctly. So what did I do here? I shifted everything. So each industrial storage container has 4,800 copper powder in it. Or copper ingot. Oh man, we're gonna have to do math. We want 1,000 nuclear pasta. Each build gives you half a nuclear pasta, so times 5. Actually, it should be times 2. Then each one of those requires 100 copper powder. Each build of copper powder is 50, so you gotta times that by 2, and then times that by 300. Really? Yeah, it can't be that much. That's way too much. It can't be that high. $300 copper ingot makes Man, it is a lot, isn't it? Because it's... To make one nuclear pasta will take 200 copper powder. Alright, I'm over here. 100 makes half. So if I want one nuclear pasta, I'm gonna need 200 copper powder. If I want 200 copper powder, I need 4 times 300 times 4. That gives me 1,200. So 1,200 ingots. 1,200 ingots divided by 300 gives me... Wait, that can't be right either. Oh boy. Hold on, hold on. Let's just use the calculator. $1,263 copper ingots per minute. Now there's some weird rounding happening there. To make 1 per minute, we need 200 units of copper powder. So if we say copper powder times, because we need 1,000 nuclear pasta, so it's 200 times 1,000. That's 200,000 copper powder. In order to make copper powder, we need divided by 50 times 300. Yep. All that to confirm that it's actually the same number. That's a lot of copper ingots. Well, we're not going to try to store a full 1.2 million. Wait a minute. What's going on here? This side's the reverse. Okay, so at the top here is where we'll have what we have. So now all belts should be moving, except for this one because it's already full. Oh, wait. Oh, I deleted the wrong one. Man, it's 4,800 each. It's such a small amount, actually. And we do have some backup storage over here as well. And when we're ready, we have 6 belts of relative reliable. 480 times 6 divided by 300. That'll support 9.6 machines. If I wanted to support 3, 6, 9, 12. One level is only 12. And that's 12 times 50. That would support 6 nuclear pasta machines. I guess that's probably okay. $7.5 belts. And I've got 6 belts. Really, I've got 3 belts. that are getting split into 6 based off the available storage and such. So it'll last for a while. I'm thinking we should probably figure out how to get ideally it would be 2 more belts in here. 7.5 belts. Man, those copper ingots are just flowing nicely right now. The good point to make is that some of this is going to be peeled off once we start making or start consuming AI limiters on a regular. Our versatile framework factory looking cool. That's a heck of a... All right, that's enough to get us started here. All right, well, that's going to provide us a good chunk of additional storage. I mean, look at the stack of this thing. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. Each one holds what, 4,800? And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So 4,800 times 7 times 6. 200,000. That leaves us with 1,000,000 left. Of course, if we did try to go the full 1,000,000 divided by 4,800, that's 200 storage containers. That's kind of a lot. But that's a good chunk to add to the storage. Like I said, some of it's going to get used. But once it gets past that point right there, it's stored for that other purpose. I want to take a quick peek at our refinery. It's going to take a while because we're going to be on our hypertube here for a second. Though I guess I should... we need to do something with this motor factory facade. That one is just that high-speed connector. Just make everything look bad. Everything looks bad in comparison to that. Now, man, if we ever need concrete, look at all these. There's a ton of limestone. About to get kicked out of here. Oh wow, looks like this whole row is... Well, not the whole row, but half the row is still not being used to the fullest extent. All that, and it only comes down to 3. I guess technically this serves as additional storage for this purpose. Not a lot, but some. As long as whatever we've got going on here is a fully loaded belt, I think we're okay. It might make sense to come back and put some upgrades down. I'd have to upgrade all the way down the sky bridge. That would be a lot. I think we're nearing the point where we need to put down aluminum. Easy for me to say. Aluminium. We need to get an aluminum factory down so we can start making the high-speed belts. This refinery is still treating us well, though. We'll have to figure out it might make sense to pulverize the copper powder here and then ship it somewhere else for the purposes of making it into nuclear pasta. Yeah, that's definitely something we should worry about in a future video. I'm thinking, so the hardest part about nuclear pasta is the copper powder. It does slow you down. And now that we're sort of thinking about it way ahead of time, it does make sense to sort of store it up and then use it. But now the question is like, how much do we need to keep? I mean, if you're talking 1,000,000 copper powder, just seems like that's a 1,000,000 copper ingots. That just seems like a huge number to go from 1,000 to 1,000,000. But then again, they want 1,000, and the first ingredient is 300, so that's 300,000 right off the bat. So yeah, it's 1,000,000 something. Luckily, we've got the refinery to support it all. So it's not going to be a total grind. I think we're about right. I know this one was a kind of a random walk. I had so many things still left to do, but we had a lot of little things that we needed to work on that really didn't justify their own video. So we got the programmable splitters. We delivered almost half of our directory units. I think we need to get aluminum going next. And then, so I'm thinking that we're done with the directory phase of this. We're only 20 parts in. And then we'll go back to, see, the problem is, are we able to do drones? Yeah, we've got the drones and the drone ports. In order to do those properly, though, you definitely need aluminum. So I think I'm going to stick with the standard recipe in this case. Well, being able to go from scrap directly to aluminum is kind of nice, I have to admit. 2 scrap equals 1 ingot. Two makes 1, 6 makes 4. 4 would take 8. So that silica is making it more efficient. This is just simpler. Oh, of course we need copper to make this work. Delightful. In order to make drones work, we also would need batteries. Oh. Right, and I typically like to go with the classic battery just because it's fewer liquids to deal with. Import plastic, I feel pretty good about. Copper wire, we could figure that out. Oh man, there's still uses for copper. And then sulfur. Do we have sulfur anywhere near us? I could look it down on my keyboard, but why? Right, those are currently being used as part of our coal power plant. So I'd have to move significantly to make the classic battery. Shoo! It's a bit of a catch-22 situation, but it's not impossible to overcome. In order to make drones, we need batteries. In order to make batteries easier, it'd be nice to have drones. We could probably hand deliver instant scrap is where we're at. This is our problem. We need to figure this out. I mean, I just can't stand all of this alumina. And I can just get the blender to make instant scrap. We might need a sulfuric acid factory. Water and sulfur. You know, I could probably, if I upgraded my current sulfur, I should have taken the hyper cannon. Currently only being used at 68%. Oof, but it is a Mark III. Man, I must have went out of my way to make this a Mark III. Because I have not touched this in so long. That's a Mark II. It's impure. And that's a Mark II. There's probably enough sulfur around here where we could make something of this. And still maintain all the stuff that this little sulfur outpost gives us. Power, gives us concrete through the compacted coal, gives us iron, gives us phase 1 parts. I mean, it is a critical piece, so I would not want to mess this up. But I do think it makes sense to tap into some of this. So I could pull it here, or it gets used. Gets used around here. Yeah, it goes down here, down the valley, then gets connected right here, where it gets processed into compacted coal, and then gets shipped out to our coal power plant. I mean, having easy access to water makes this tempting. Of course, if we do it here, we can just ship out the same amount that we're currently shipping. And then just pull the water in from right here. In order to do that, we would need to pack it. We'd have to pull it and pack it. Wait, why do I want sulfuric acid? Right, for the aluminum. That's right. So either I go that way or I go this way. Don't want to deal with any petroleum coke. Alumina would require coal and bauxite. I think I would prefer this. It's a little bit more work, but I think it's better.
I don't know. Have a good day.
So the problem I'm having is that my classic battery takes sulfur and aluminum. In order to get aluminum, I've got to get sulfuric acid. But in order to make all this stuff come together, I need drones, which require aluminum. This still might be the way to go. I've got access to copper. Access to plastic. Access to sulfur. If I absolutely had to, I could hand deliver a bunch of sulfur to kickstart this thing to get enough batteries going. Alright, but that's all something that we can deal with in the next episode. I know this was a random / planning video. I know it was a lot, but that's the kind of thing that you have to do in this game. And they are definitely presenting us with forks in the road that kind of overlap. I'm probably making it harder on myself than I have to, though, by going with all the alternate recipes. Right, because if I just wanted batteries, I could make sulfur, sulfuric acid, and then make aluminum out of bauxite. But even that takes the casing. I think the only way to go is to get the aluminum next. How I choose to do that is the question. Bauxite and water gives me the solutia plus some silica. Or I can take the pure version. Ooh, that pure version looks really good. It's faster, less resources, and less byproduct. All right, we'll have to figure it out next time. Thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.